Welcome to the GRYD, your global source for defense, military, and geopolitics. I'm SNB. In a world of shifting alliances and simmering conflicts, there exists a layer of warfare that operates in the shadows, far from the headlines and public view. These are the domains of special forces, the sharpest tip of the military spear, whose actions can shape the course of history. They are more than just soldiers, they are instruments of national will, deployed where conventional forces cannot go. Their currency is precision, stealth, and unwavering resolve. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain, just a little, to break down the top 5 special forces that are shaping global power dynamics as we head into 2025. This isn't just a list based on movies or popular opinion. We're ranking these elite units by a strict set of criteria: the brutal difficulty of their training, their hard-won combat experience, their documented mission success rates, and their formidable global reputation. We're going to explore the ecosystems that create these warriors, and the geopolitical chessboard on which they move. From high-stakes hostage rescues in sprawling urban centers, to covert reconnaissance deep behind enemy lines, these are the most elite military units in the world. They are meticulously trained to operate in the most hostile environments imaginable on Earth, mastering everything from scorching desert warfare and suffocating jungle combat to complex counterterrorism operations. This is the story of the quiet professionals, the ghost warriors whose impact is felt long after they've vanished back into the shadows. Let's get into it. Kicking off our list at number 5 is a unit forged in the crucible of tragedy, France's Groupe d'Intervention de la Gendarmerie Nationale, or GIGN. Born from the aftermath of the Munich Olympics massacre in 1972, the GIGN was created with a singular, crystal-clear mandate to be the ultimate solution to the most extreme acts of violence and terrorism. They aren't an invading army, they are a surgical instrument, designed for precision strikes where failure is not an option and collateral damage is unacceptable. This philosophy permeates every aspect of their existence. The path to joining the GIGN is notoriously unforgiving. Candidates, who must already be experienced members of the National Gendarmerie, are pushed to the absolute brink of their physical and psychological limits. The selection process is a brutal filter, designed to weed out not just the physically weak, but anyone lacking the immense mental fortitude and emotional stability required for this line of work. They are tested on everything from marksmanship and endurance to their ability to remain calm and make life-or-death decisions under unimaginable stress. It's a process that ensures only the most disciplined and resilient individuals earn the right to wear the coveted GIGN insignia. This intense psychological screening is what truly sets the GIGN apart. Their operators are famous for their de-escalation tactics and their preference for capturing suspects alive. This isn't a sign of weakness, it's a testament to their incredible control and discipline. Their motto, "S'engager pour la vie," which means to commit for life, reflects this deep-seated value for human life, even that of their adversaries. It's a complex and demanding ethical code that requires a level of maturity and judgment far beyond that of a typical soldier. Their operational history is a testament to this philosophy. The GIGN's most famous mission is arguably the 1994 hijacking of Air France Flight 8969 in Marseille. The world watched, holding its breath, as GIGN operators stormed the aircraft on the tarmac. What followed was not a chaotic firefight, but a textbook example of a precision assault. They neutralized the heavily armed terrorists and rescued all remaining hostages, demonstrating their unparalleled expertise in close-quarters battle and hostage rescue to a global audience. This mission became the blueprint for modern airline anti-hijack tactics, but their work extends far beyond airport tarmacs. The GIGN has been involved in countless operations, from apprehending dangerous criminals and dismantling organized crime rings within France, to protecting French embassies abroad and conducting special operations in conflict zones. They are a versatile tool of the French state, equally adept at domestic law enforcement and foreign military intervention. Technologically, the GIGN is constantly evolving. They work closely with French defense contractors to develop and field test cutting-edge equipment. This includes advanced breaching tools, non-lethal weapons, sophisticated surveillance drones, and customized firearms like the legendary Manourin MR-73 revolver, renowned for its accuracy and reliability. Each operator is a master of this arsenal, capable of selecting the perfect tool for any given situation. The MR-73 revolver is more than just a sidearm. It's a symbol of the GIGN's ethos. Each new operator is presented with one, and they are expected to practice with it relentlessly, firing thousands of rounds to achieve a Zen-like mastery. This dedication to marksmanship is legendary. It's a physical manifestation of their core principle, absolute precision. One shot, one opportunity to resolve a crisis without escalating it. Their combat effectiveness is measured not in body count, but in lives saved. In a world increasingly plagued by asymmetric threats and urban terrorism, the GIGN's specialized skill set has never been more relevant. They represent a model of counterterrorism that prioritizes intelligence, patience, and surgical precision over brute force, a model that many other nations have sought to emulate. As we look towards 2025, the GIGN's role in securing France and its interests will only grow. They are the nation's last line of defense against the most extreme threats, the calm, steady hand in the midst of chaos. Their unique blend of law enforcement discipline and military prowess makes them a truly formidable force, earning them a solid place on our list of the world's most elite units. At number 4, we journey to the complex and often volatile region of South Asia to look at a unit forged in the fires of constant conflict, India's Para-Special Forces. Operating under the simple but profound motto "Men Apart, Every Man an Emperor," the Para-SF are the battle-hardened commandos of the Indian Army's Parachute Regiment. Their history is intertwined with every major conflict India has faced, making them one of the most combat-experienced special forces units in the world. The selection process for the Para-SF is one of the longest and most arduous in the world, a grueling trial that can last for months. It begins with a 3-month probationary period where volunteers are subjected to relentless physical and mental abuse, sleep deprivation, and starvation. The goal is to shatter the individual, to find their breaking point. Only those who possess an almost inhuman level of grit and a burning desire to serve are even considered for the next phase. Those who survive the initial probation then move on to the actual SF training, which includes a parachute course that is just the beginning. They are schooled in a dizzying array of skills. Media group, military training sequences showing urban assault, hostage rescue drills, and counterterrorism tactics. Soldiers practicing close-quarters combat, snipers during reconnaissance. Staka distribute die, equally. Unconventional warfare, counterinsurgency and counterterrorism, direct action, hostage rescue, and special reconnaissance. The training is tailored to the unique challenges of their operational environment, from the high altitudes of the Himalayas to the dense jungles of the Northeast and the deserts of Rajasthan. Their real-world mission log reads like a history of modern Indian warfare. The Para-SF played a crucial, albeit clandestine role, in the 1971 Indo-Pakistani War, conducting cross-border raids that disrupted enemy supply lines and communications. They were instrumental during the Kargil War in 1999, undertaking perilous, high-altitude assaults to recapture strategic peaks from entrenched enemy forces, missions that conventional infantry deemed impossible. More recently, they have been the tip of the spear in India's fight against cross-border terrorism. The most famous of these was the 2016 surgical strikes. In response to a terrorist attack on an Indian army base, Para-SF teams covertly crossed the heavily fortified line of control into Pakistan-administered Kashmir. They raided several suspected terrorist launch pads, inflicting significant casualties and sending a powerful message of deterrence across the border. This operation was a geopolitical earthquake. It demonstrated a new, more muscular Indian security posture and showcased the Para-SF's ability to execute complex, high-risk missions with lethal precision deep inside hostile territory. The secrecy, speed, and success of the operation cemented their reputation as a formidable strategic asset for the Indian government, capable of changing the geopolitical calculus in a single night. Their combat effectiveness is born from this constant operational tempo. Unlike some Western special forces who may cycle through periods of relative peace, the Para-SF are in a near-constant state of deployment, honing their skills in live-fire situations. This continuous exposure to real-world combat creates an institutional memory and a level of adaptability that is difficult to replicate in training exercises alone. They have mastered the art of irregular warfare. Technologically, the Para-SF have undergone a significant modernization program. While historically they may have lagged behind some Western counterparts, they now field a sophisticated arsenal of Israeli, American, and European weaponry. Media group, Para-SF with TAVR rifles and advanced optics, soldiers using high-tech communication equipment, close-up of modern weaponry in use. Stock and I distribute Inspacanar equally. TAVR and M4 carbines, Galil sniper rifles, advanced night vision and communication systems are now standard issue. This technological upgrade, combined with their raw, battle-hardened experience, makes them a uniquely potent force. As we look to 2025, the Para-SF's importance to India's national security is paramount. They are the primary tool for managing the gray zone conflicts that define the region's security landscape. From counterinsurgency in Kashmir to keeping a watchful eye on the long-disputed border with China, the Para-SF are the unseen guardians of India's frontiers. The battle-hardened commandos who ensure that when diplomacy fails, India has a sharp and ready blade. Coming in at number 3 is a unit so secretive its very existence was once a state secret. From Israel, we have Sayeret Matkal, the unit. Modeled after the British SAS, Sayeret Matkal is Israel's premier special missions unit, a force specializing in intelligence gathering, counterterrorism, and hostage rescue, often operating deep within enemy nations. They are the ghost warriors, the stuff of legend in the shadowy world of special operations. To even be considered for Sayeret Matkal, a candidate must possess exceptional intelligence and physical prowess. The selection camp, or Gibush, is a legendary ordeal held twice a year. For several days, recruits are pushed to their absolute limits with no sleep, little food, and constant, grueling physical and psychological tests. Doctors and psychologists monitor them constantly, not just for physical endurance, but for leadership potential, teamwork, and the ability to think clearly under the duopoly of stress and exhaustion. Those few who pass the Gibush embark on a 20-month training regimen that is one of the most comprehensive in the world. It includes basic infantry training, parachute school, and counterterrorism courses. But the core of their training is what sets them apart: advanced navigation, reconnaissance, and intelligence gathering. They are taught to blend in, to operate in plain clothes, to speak foreign languages, and to build intelligence networks far from home. They are trained to be spies as much as they are soldiers. Sayeret Matkal's history of audacious missions is staggering. Their most iconic operation is undoubtedly Operation Entebbe in 1976. When an Air France flight was hijacked and flown to Uganda, Sayeret Matkal was tasked with the seemingly impossible rescue over 100 hostages held 2,500 miles away. In a stunning display of deception and force, the commandos landed at Entebbe Airport in C-130 Hercules transports, one of which carried a black Mercedes limousine identical to Ugandan dictator Idi Amin's personal vehicle. This deception allowed the assault team to approach the terminal undetected. The subsequent raid was swift and violent. In a firefight lasting just minutes, the commandos killed all the hijackers and dozens of Ugandan soldiers, rescuing 102 hostages. The only military casualty was the unit commander, Yonatan Netanyahu, brother of the future prime minister. Operation Entebbe became the gold standard for long-range hostage rescue missions, a textbook example of creativity, intelligence, and courage. But Entebbe is just one highlight. Sayeret Matkal has been credited with countless other covert operations. They are believed to have been behind the assassination of PLO's second-in-command Abu Jihad in Tunisia in 1988, a complex maritime and land-based operation. They've conducted deep penetration intelligence missions in Syria and Lebanon, and they are at the forefront of Israel's efforts to counter nuclear proliferation in the region, reportedly involved in missions to gather intelligence on Iranian and Syrian nuclear programs. Their combat effectiveness stems from this unique fusion of intelligence and direct action. A Matkal operation is never just about brute force. It is a carefully choreographed play, built on a foundation of meticulous intelligence gathering and planning. They don't just kick down doors, they find the key, or they convince the guard to open it for them. This intellectual approach to warfare is their greatest strength. Technologically, Sayeret Matkal has access to the pinnacle of Israel's famed high-tech defense industry. They are often the first to field test and deploy new weapons, surveillance systems, and cyber warfare tools. This close relationship with the tech sector gives them a significant qualitative edge over their adversaries, allowing them to see farther, communicate more securely, and strike more precisely than anyone else in the region. Looking to 2025, Sayeret Matkal remains Israel's ultimate strategic weapon. In an era of cyber threats, proxy wars, and nuclear ambiguity, their ability to gather critical intelligence and conduct surgical strikes deep in hostile territory is more vital than ever. They are the eyes, ears, and hidden dagger of the Israeli Defense Forces, the ghost warriors who operate on the front lines of Israel's shadow war for survival. Our runner-up, at number 2, is the legendary unit that arguably created the template for modern special forces, the British Special Air Service, the SAS. Their motto, "Who dares wins," is not just a catchphrase, it is the philosophical core of the organization. Formed in the deserts of North Africa during World War II, the SAS has a legacy of daring, innovation, and uncompromising professionalism that has influenced elite units across the globe. The SAS selection process is infamous, a pilgrimage for the toughest soldiers in the British military. It is a lonely, grueling test of individual endurance and self-reliance. The most notorious phase is the Fan Dance, a 24-kilometer march over the Pen Y Fan Mountain in the Brecon Beacons, carrying a heavy pack and rifle, which must be completed within a strict time limit. This is just one part of a month-long test of endurance and navigation skills, but the physical hardship is just the beginning. Candidates are then thrown into the jungles of Belize or Brunei for weeks of intense jungle warfare training, learning to survive and fight in one of the world's most unforgiving environments. The final phase is escape and evasion, where candidates are hunted by other soldiers. If caught, they face intense, psychologically brutal interrogations. The process is designed to find men who are not just physically tough, but mentally unbreakable and fiercely independent. The SAS's operational history is a catalogue of modern British conflicts. After their legendary exploits in World War II, they were reborn to fight communist insurgents during the Malayan Emergency, where they perfected the art of jungle warfare and hearts and minds operations. They've operated in the shadows in Northern Ireland, in the mountains of Afghanistan, and the deserts of Iraq. But their reintroduction to the world stage came in 1980. On May 5, 1980, 6 terrorists stormed the Iranian embassy in London, taking 26 hostages. After a 6-day siege, the British government gave the order for the SAS to go in. In front of live television cameras, black-clad figures rappelled down the building and blew out the windows in a coordinated assault codenamed Operation Nimrod. The world watched, mesmerized, as the SAS neutralized the terrorists and rescued the hostages in just 17 minutes. That single event catapulted the SAS from a shadowy, little-known unit to a global brand, the benchmark against which all other counter-terrorist units would be measured. It was a flawless demonstration of their core competencies: explosive, breaching, surgical marksmanship, and aggression executed with terrifying speed and precision. It was the public unveiling of a capability the British had been quietly perfecting for decades. Their combat effectiveness is rooted in a culture of continuous learning and adaptation. SAS troopers are encouraged to be thinking soldiers, to question orders and to find creative solutions to complex problems. This intellectual flexibility, combined with their vast operational experience, allows them to excel in a wide spectrum of missions, from high-risk counterterrorism and hostage rescue to deep reconnaissance and training foreign forces. Technologically, the SAS benefits from its close relationship with its American counterparts, often having access to similar cutting-edge equipment. However, they also maintain a uniquely British approach, often favoring simplicity and reliability over overly complex systems. Their focus is on the individual soldier's skill, not just his gear. An SAS trooper is expected to be a master of his craft, able to operate effectively with minimal support. As we look ahead, the SAS remains the UK's go-to force for its most sensitive and dangerous missions. They are a political tool, a force multiplier, and a symbol of British resolve. In an increasingly unstable world, the need for a small group of highly disciplined individuals who are willing to dare and who have the skills to win is as critical as ever. Who dares wins is more than a motto, it's a promise. And at the number 1 spot, the unit that has come to define special operations in the 21st century, the United States Navy SEALs, and specifically, their most elite Tier 1 component, the Naval Special Warfare Development Group, better known as DEVGRU, or the legendary SEAL Team 6. While the entire SEAL community is elite, DEVGRU represents the absolute apex, the culmination of decades of combat experience, astronomical funding, and a relentless drive to be the best. The journey to DEVGRU begins with an already impossible task, becoming a Navy SEAL. The basic underwater demolition SEAL training, or BUD-S, is 6 months of pure, unadulterated misery. It is designed to find men who are physically dominant, mentally indomitable, and completely at home in the water. The infamous Hell Week, 5.5 days of constant cold, wet, physical exertion with a total of about 4 hours of sleep, is a crucible that forges an unbreakable bond between those who survive it. But graduating BUD-S is just the entry ticket. To be considered for DEVGRU, a SEAL must typically have several years of experience and multiple combat deployments with one of the regular SEAL teams. They are then hand-picked and invited to a grueling selection process known as Green Team. This is an even more intense and secretive course that tests not only their advanced combat skills, but their maturity, decision-making, and ability to operate at the highest, most clandestine levels of warfare. DEVGRU's mission set is the most demanding in the U.S. military. While they are masters of the core SEAL skills of direct action and special reconnaissance, they specialize in the most complex and sensitive counterterrorism, hostage rescue, and high-value target missions. They are a national-level asset, reporting directly to the Joint Special Operations Command, or JSOC, and often acting on the orders of the President himself. Their list of known operations is a history of the War on Terror. They were on the ground in Afghanistan in the opening hours of the war in 2001, hunting al-Qaeda leadership in the mountains of Tora Bora. They fought in the back alleys of Ramadi and the streets of Baghdad during the height of the Iraq War, dismantling insurgent networks one high-value target at a time. They conducted the dramatic rescue of Captain Richard Phillips from Somali pirates in 2009, a mission that showcased their maritime capabilities. But one mission, above all others, cemented their legendary status: Operation Neptune Spear. On May 2, 2011, 2 stealth helicopters carrying DEVGRU operators descended on a compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. Their target was the most wanted man in history, Osama bin Laden. The raid was a masterpiece of intelligence, technology, and lethal execution. In approximately 40 minutes, the team neutralized bin Laden and his defenders, gathered a trove of intelligence, and exfiltrated without a single operator being lost. That single operation had a global impact, demonstrating the incredible reach and capability of U.S. Special Operations. It was the culmination of a decade-long manhunt, executed with a level of precision that was simply breathtaking. It showcased not just the skill of the operators, but the technological dominance that backs them up, from the stealth helicopters used for insertion to the advanced intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance platforms that guided them to their target. This technological advantage is a key component of their effectiveness. DEVGRU has a virtually unlimited budget to develop and acquire the most advanced weaponry and equipment on the planet. This includes customized firearms, next-generation night vision, miniature drones, and cutting-edge communication systems. They work hand in glove with the defense industry to create bespoke solutions for their unique operational challenges. As we look to 2025 and a new era of great power competition, DEVGRU is adapting. While counterterrorism remains a core competency, they are refocusing on the skills needed to counter near-peer adversaries like Russia and China. This means a renewed emphasis on maritime operations, underwater sabotage, and operating in environments where U.S. technological superiority may be contested. They are the apex predators of the military world, constantly evolving to stay at the top of the food chain, making them our #1 special forces unit shaping global power. So, there you have it, the GIGN, Para-SF, Sayeret Matkal, the SAS, and DEVGRU, 5 elite units, each forged by their nation's unique history and security challenges. From the precise surgical strikes of the GIGN to the battle-hardened grit of the Para-SF, the intelligence-driven operations of Sayeret Matkal, the daring legacy of the SAS, and the technological dominance of the SEALs, these forces represent the pinnacle of military capability. They are more than just soldiers, They are living weapons, strategic assets that can achieve political objectives with a speed and precision that conventional armies simply cannot match. As geopolitics evolve and the nature of conflict shifts towards the gray zone, the importance of these units will only continue to grow. They are the instruments of power in an age of asymmetry, the quiet professionals whose actions in the shadows will continue to shape the world we live in, often without us ever knowing they were there. Their stories are a powerful reminder that behind the technology, the strategy, and the politics, the outcome of conflict often rests on the skill, courage, and unwavering resolve of a small group of extraordinary individuals. The world of special operations is constantly changing, and this list will undoubtedly look different in the years to come. What new threats will emerge? Which units will rise to meet the challenge? That's a conversation we'll continue to have right here. If you found this breakdown insightful and want to dive deeper into the world of defense, military, and geopolitics, make sure you subscribe to SNB Creation and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching the GRYD.